me a sounding board. So if I have an idea or a direction that might affect our customers and our people, EPF can give me that sounding board to help me understand how that might affect our people and what we're going to do about it. When we do make a decision about what we're going to do with technology, and again how that might affect our people, whether that's a restructure or a new piece of technology that affects our customers and therefore the call centre, again EPF can help me then to work out what's the best strategy for communicating and making that change happen. So I've had a number of interactions with Ian and Alan where we talk about the future direction of the organisation, or right down to specific details of a change or how it affects an individual. So I get that full gamut of help right from strategy through to implementation. The other thing I value about EPF is that I do get an honest honest feedback. Okay. So if there's anything I do that is not landing properly with our people or with the organisation, one of the EPF guys comes and tells me so. So I get very clear, very straight, this is what happened, this is what was said, and this is what's not working, can you please help with the following? So it's great from that perspective. I wouldn't necessarily get that direct from my own people who might have a fear about coming to speak to me about something. I wouldn't necessarily get it from my own management as well. So it's great to have that sort of honest feedback. And I think it helps me run my business in a more active and proactive way. I think it's even more important going forward, obviously, with the changes to the HR function, where previously I might have gone to an HR function to get that help and support. With the current structure, the onus is on far more importantly on the management themselves to take control of people issues, organisation restructures, and direction and communication. Without having something like EPF, I think we'll have a lower quality of service that we can offer to our people. And I think at this moment, more than any other time, where we're combining the two organisations of Prudential and Egg, with very different cultures, it's even more important that management do get the support and direct feedback from somebody like EPF. I think within
customer services, we find you invaluable contributing to the decision-making processes, really. So a good example of that for me would be shift reviews, which, as we know, is a very emotive subject for our people, and it's really important to us as a business that we get it right for our customers. So engaging you guys up front in understanding why we need to make the changes, to have you guys equipped to support us when we take on rolling those changes out across the floor is invaluable and critical to the success of making a change on that scale. Personally, I value the contribution that you guys make within the decision-making process, and I would always look to, run ideas past you, get your input in the early stages, really, when we're looking at making changes that have got a potential impact on our people. And I know that the team managers regularly will look to you guys when they're dealing with day-to-day issues that crop up on the floor, and almost would look to you guys to provide a bit of a mediation service to deal with issues, that perhaps associates need some help with. And I do know that team leaders and team managers do very much value that and actually need that level of support from you guys. It helps give them confidence within the decisions that they're making.
I think EPF is a key strategic asset that we have in how we make this organisation work, and it's a strategic asset I think in two specific ways. So firstly, in what I would call a reactive way. So EPF for me is a core mechanism for understanding what's going on in the organisation. So it's the mechanism that allows both a collective voice to be heard by management, where EPF are representing a broad group of people in the organisation, but also it gives more power to individual voice. So whether there are individual issues that always go on in all organisations where you've got people involved. So because of the way the mechanism is set up, because of the fact we've got a group of people who are full-time, because we've got representatives in all of the areas, because we've got a structure, a mechanism for collecting that insight, and for sifting it, actually, because there's you guys aren't just you don't just pass stuff through. No. The experience that you've got, you're able to really get to the nitty-gritty of real issues, such that those things, it's the real things that we end up talking about, and it's the real things that we're focused on. You've created I think almost a unique capability there, because it's a mechanism that's trusted by the management, by me, and I know by my direct reports, and a mechanism that's valued by them, but also you're trusted by the people. The strategic component that EPF brings is when we're talking about proactive issues. So where there's big change that we're taking on, where there's, I think even when it's small change, when the organisation is changing, and this organisation, all organisations change, this organisation changes very rapidly. If you think what we've done in 8 years, there's been a hell of a lot of change. And having EPF there to talk to about the change before we do it, to understand how the organisation is going to react, to help us to build better change plans, to challenge the change plans that are coming out, such that we craft change, whether that's strategic change or whether that's tactical change, that's crafted in a way that's going to make it much more successful. And so I think it's that proactive change capability that EPF brings, which is, for me, something that distinguishes it, in fact, over and above the reactive component that you bring. So, I think the other thing is it's a mechanism that changes. Yeah. Right. So I think you've moulded EPF according to the circumstances as the organisation has gone through. Because if you look at how the organisation's evolved, you've fundamentally changed the EPF mechanism, and it's grown and developed. To the extent now that actually we're talking to third parties, other organisations, about how we do stuff. In the latter years, you've turned that into a mechanism itself that is growing and is learning and is helping the organisation, the management and the people in the organisation to work more effectively with each other. So I think you've got to a point now where it's a very strong muscle, and a muscle which has a material impact on, as I said, the reactive stuff that we need to do, the proactive stuff that we need to do, but also just the way that we're now able to think about EPF and evolve it as we see best practice coming out of other areas. So I think it's a hugely important component of how we do stuff here.